Hey lovers, this is PDH with Love on Tour, and I'm on board the brand new Utopia of the Seas, and I'm looking forward to see what we got. Wonder of the Seas is one of my favorite ships, as you know, so I'm really excited to see what we got going on here on Utopia. Let's check it out. So the Utopia of the Seas is the brand new entry in the Oasis class ship line. Now, most of you know from my channel that I absolutely love the Wonder of the Seas. It made my top 5 cruise ships of 2023. I'll leave a link below so you can check that video out and see who else made the list. What I do love about Utopia of the Seas is that it just really built upon that same greatness that Wonder of the Seas had. Now, I cruised the Wonder of the Seas from Spain through Rome and Europe a couple years ago, and I absolutely loved it. The Utopia of the Seas is only cruising the Caribbean, and it's really only doing 4 and 3 night cruises, which I think is a real shame considering just how spectacular this ship is. Now, I know a lot of you were concerned about this ship being a party ship. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm on a 4 night cruise instead of a 3 night cruise, but I did not really experience anything outlandish on the ship in terms of party atmosphere. Now, everywhere you look, every promo video is a party. They're doing the toga party tonight. They're doing the same parties on the sailaway and pool deck and the most handsome man and all that kind of stuff that they do on every cruise ship. So I really haven't seen that. And to be honest, there's been a lot of families on this cruise ship. I'm cruising in November, and there are tons of families on this cruise ship. So if you're looking for a family vacation, I don't think you should avoid at least the 4 night version of this cruise. Now, the Utopia of the Seas has one of my favorite restaurants that you can only find on the Wonder of the Seas, and that is Mason Jar. Mason Jar is one of my favorite restaurants. I love it. It's Southern kitchen cooking, and it feels like that. It tastes like that. The collard greens, the mac and cheese, the barbecue, the brisket. I mean, it really does have an authentic flair to it. And as you know, you go to some of these dining venues and it'll say that it's authentic, but it'll just feel like mass cooking. Mason Jar is one of the only restaurants on these cruise ships that was true to its calling. In this case, Southern cooking. So it was really, really good. Now, the ship is absolutely packed. Like I said, this is November, and this is not a holiday, but the ship is absolutely crazy crowded. And I don't know if that's just a Royal Caribbean thing or it's just a Utopia of the Seas thing. But you should be aware that the ship is going to be crowded with a diverse flow of families and singles and couples and married people and older people. It does have a very diverse demographic. Now, it's different than Princess and Celebrity, where you get more of an older crowd, because you really do have, I think, probably the average age on this ship is probably somewhere in the 30s, to be honest. So it's just something to be aware of if that's important to you. Another thing I love about the Utopia of the Seas that's different is the new Giovanni's, which is actually 2 stories now. And the food there is fantastic. And Giovanni's does have a balcony overlooking boardwalk. So if you did want to get a second seating of that fantastic aqua show, you could do it while having dinner outside on the balcony overlooking boardwalk. So that's fantastic. Now, the ship does have some of the same venues that you have come to love on the Oasis class ships. They do have Central Park, they do have Boardwalk, and something else that's different in the dining, Izumi's is now part of the Central Park. It's Izumi's in the park. So you do have Izumi in Central Park now, and it has a very nice venue as well. They also have the Royal Railway Utopia station, which I did not take part in, but they have like a 5-course American meal that's supposed to be really nice. It's kind of in the corner in this area, but it would be kind of cool to see how that works. So if you've actually experienced that, I'd love to hear your experience down in the comments. The Pesky Parrot is another new venue here on Utopia of the Seas, and it's a great place to go get a drink. They do a lot of the mixed drinks there, so that's a great spot as well. If you do plan to catch the parade going through the promenade, you should get there early because it gets really, really crowded as the parade starts. And it has kind of their Royal Caribbean superheroes, if you've ever seen that show, come out in their comic costumes and that sort of thing. And that's really what the parade is here in Utopia of the Seas. Now, the buffet is not my favorite, just as I didn't like it on the Wonder. It's kind of this U shape, but it gets really, really crowded during the day and in the evening time. So just be prepared to come early if you are going to do the buffet. Very cool. This is the first time I've seen two craps tables on any cruise ship I've ever been on, if memory serves me correct. If you know of one in the comments, let me know, but that is huge, huge casino here on Utopia of the Seas. I'll tell you, the Utopia of the Seas Theater is one of the most opulent theaters I've ever seen. Absolutely spectacular, really beautiful. All right, lovers, so I just had to do this video because I'm just leaving the Aqua 82 show in the Aqua Theater here in the Utopia of the Seas. And let me tell you, there's nothing like the Aqua Theater show on these Oasis class ships. I mean, it was just spectacular watching these performers do what they do while the ship is moving in the water. It's just, I can't say enough about this show. It was absolutely fantastic. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not Utopia is going to continue its journey just as a weekend ship. Now, this is a new model. Typically, you don't get new ships that are just doing weekend and 3-day cruises. So it'll be interesting to see if Royal Caribbean thinks they hit a home run on this, or if this ship will eventually start doing full cruising 7 nights or more. Hey lovers, that's it for this episode of Love on Tour and this review of the Utopia of the Seas, the brand new mega ship by Royal Caribbean. I'm sure it's going to make my top 5 list. I'm not sure where it's going to land, so make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned for that. Remember, it's love above all, love will travel, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.